Previously said that the workers currently at the E.T. Joshua Airport are going to go over to the Argyle International Airport. So what will become of the E.T. Joshua Airport?
Arnisville is to be developed from the policymakers. It's to be developed into a new city. The E.T. Joshua Airport is earmarked to be turned into a major shopping area. I can see that meets your approval. More shopping for the mall lovers. All the excitement. They have one thing in mind. It will only happen if the Argyle International Airport is completed.
Yeah, you said there will be an opportunity to develop like businesses and so on, right? But what about recreational facilities, like people who come from the States and so on, they live developed places. So don't you think we need more places like cinemas and arcades and so on?
You know, if you notice right now, we had 2 cinemas. One is closed and one is operating. One in Georgia is still operating? Okay, it's closed? Alright, so we only have one. And the only reason why they're closed? Because people are not patronizing. And one of the reasons is that it's not really part of our Vincent culture to go to cinemas and theaters and sit down. But when we start bringing in more people and they're looking for fun, recreation and things to do, there might now be need for the other cinemas. So some enterprising private person could reopen Lyric and get it going. The government recently refurbished, I think, between 18 to 21 recreational sites. And if you've been to Warrpool, Ovia, Daphne Falls, any of these places, they can be compared to any recreational site anywhere in the world. So we have ample places that our tourists can go to. We may have need for more. We are dependent on the private investors who want to make some money to take up the slack.
Spoke a while ago about the E.T. Joshua Airport, saying that we'll make it into a mall, right? I was saying, why not leave it into an airport just in case of an emergency coming up from the Grenadines or such, and we really need to get someone to the hospital quickly. It won't be like a further journey from all the way to Argyle into town, and rather than it being from Arnisville.
All right, I will tell you, that's a good question.
So Vincent Grenadines has 5 airports. The plain truth is that we cannot maintain a 6th. So once we have Argyle International, we will not be able to keep E.T. Joshua open because we couldn't, for economic reasons, maintain E.T. Joshua. Secondly, if there is an emergency and someone is going from the Grenadines to Argyle, the government is far-sighted and they're thinking. That is why we now have a hospital being built in Georgetown. There is a polyclinic in Stubbs that will offer 24-hour service. Stubbs is right next door to the airport. There is also, right now, a health center in Mespo, which is close by. Another polyclinic is going to be built in Mespo, and already another clinic has been built in Mespo. So there are health facilities already.
After all the money that was invested into the airport, right, by the other countries, are they going to have any shares in the airport?
No, those countries that are giving us, they're helping us. So they have no shares in the airport, not as we speak.
I was thinking, right, before, isn't it better that we should have renovated the E.T. Joshua Airport than to build an entire different airport?
E.T. Joshua has really outlived its usefulness. There's nothing much you can do with E.T. Joshua. If you had to renovate E.T. Joshua, you would have to go out further into the ocean to get the length for a runway to even land a jet at E.T. Joshua. You will have to move a lot of businesses and houses around Arnisville to expand. You see, when they built E.T. Joshua Airport, there was no master plan. There's no thought for future expansion. And so they built on what was there. And now there is no place to go. So you couldn't really do anything much with E.T. Joshua Airport.
I
I don't have a question. I have a comment, right? In my point of view, I support the airport. I think it's a great project, right? Because some of us here went to Cuba early up in the year, and we left here in the morning like 6:30, and we never got to Cuba until after 1 in the morning, right? The next morning, yes. So I do support this airport, right? But I think that people, Vincentians, are using their political affiliation to show how they view the airport, this product. But this project is actually needed. It is needed, and people are using what their leaders say there in order to create their opinions on how the project is really going.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I overheard some bigger people speaking, saying that the land that they have now for the runway isn't enough and they have to claim more land. Is that true?
No. That's not true.
Another point though, the petroglyphs and the shrine that were in Argyle, that the one that was around where Dipcon had the right. What are gonna be done with those?
Because we are expecting a team from Egypt to come in. You know, the Egyptians are experts at carving stone and moving stone. We are waiting for a team from Egypt to arrive here to assist the National Trust with the removal of the petroglyphs to try and save them if they can be saved. Right? Well, there is a possibility they might not be able to save them. And if that is the case, then we have to give them this join them, it's part of the program. But we are trying everything we can first. That is a land rule. We are trying as best we can to save them. As a matter of fact, we had someone a couple of years ago who did some impressions of the petroglyphs. They came and they recreated them, so they had them, I think at the National Trust, have those. Regarding the shrine, the Catholic shrine, they have removed the Virgin Mary years ago. So they have her in a safe place somewhere, and they're going to rebuild their church at a new location, and they will set up a new shrine. So that is it.
I also think that this is a wonderful project, and I wanted to know, is it because, you know, the other groups or whatever, they're called opposition leaders? Why do they think they take it upon themselves to oppose all the time, saying no, no, no? I'm wondering if it's because St. Vincent is too small. They think we're too small to make an impact.
Meantime, schools continue to take an interest in the Argyle International Airport in and out of the classroom. Here, the Pamelarsburg Primary School paid a visit to the airport site. Let's listen to some of the things that they're concerned about.
Has there any plans in place for extension, probably in the next 20 years or so?
You would have heard the controversy early last year that we were acquiring 33 acres of land additional, and we had no place, we had not leave any space for the terminal building. Now the terminal building is going over there. That is where it was planned to go in any case. That was the initial area designated for it. What had happened then was that the plan we were working on that the Cubans had drawn up for us designated that we leave a particular space for the terminal building, which we did. When we got the help from the Mexican government and they provided us with the airport expert, he drew us a master plan which said that within 15 to 20 years, depending on your traffic, you might need to expand the airport because it will be too small to accommodate you. So the extra 33 acres of land was to take that master plan and implement the recommendations that they were making to us with that. So that within the master plan, there is space allocated for expansion and there is a plan. So if you need to expand, whoever is operating the airport at that time will just use the plan that we are leaving, the master plan, and do their expansion. So it has been built in such a way that you don't have any displacement. You may have to move the cargo terminal if the passenger terminal has to be extended, but that would be a simple matter because there will be the land space to move it down and extend the terminal building as need be. Also, there is also a plan in that master plan if there is a need for another taxiway. It's drawn in already. You can just go and extend and do the taxiway. But for now, we are not anticipating that traffic will be so great that you need it right now. But over time, as St. Vincent gets out there and people hear about us and the tourism product grows, you may need it. Who knows? It might be busier than we ever thought. So you might need it. So they're leaving the plans in place. So that unlike E.T. Joshua where there was no plan and now you can expand it, there is a plan called the master plan out here that those who operate the airport later on will work from and do what they need. So they won't have to go back to the drawing board. The plans would be there and the lands would be there that they could do what they need to do. And we have to reclaim some land. Now you could see the ocean line over there. We have to reclaim some land over there because part of the shoulder, which is like over here, so there's a strip there and part of the shoulder area would be over on that side, falling into the ocean area. So we have to reclaim land there and we have to build city fences around there to protect the coastal area and to protect the runway as well because you know what water coming in and washing away everything. So we have to do that. So we have all of those work to do in 2011. And of course we'll have some bits and pieces to do in 2012. But we're working towards 2012 to have the airport operational. It's not going to be finished, but we're hoping by 2012 we can have planes landing and taking off at Argyle. You can go and come, you know, as you please, without really noticing the work that we are continuing to do. This mountain has to come down, the rest of it that you're seeing here, this would come down because there will be a permanent access to Warrico and Mount Pleasant, and that will come over Mount Cook in Stubbs. It will come around there, right around the airport, down to the road that you now know, up behind here and hook up to where Miss Bullock business is there and go around to the old Argyle Bridge where the dead end would be.
Increase in technology. And well, we are not saying that it's something new. If you go to Barbados International Airport, it doesn't have it. But in Trinidad, what you call it, the hub, where you go straight through onto the aircraft.
Oh,
is there any
the air bridge?
Yeah. Is there any plan in place for that here?
There is, but it will not be in the first phase of operation because they're very expensive. But the airport is being built to accommodate air bridges on the top floor. So later on, it's just a matter of installing them. But right now, we can't install it because we don't have the money. So we have to wait a little while. But there is space for that. We are building it in such a way that you could just install them.
You too can learn more about the Argyle International Airport by logging on to www.svgiadc.com or call 458-0333 for more information. You could also visit us on the site for your guided tour.